granniopteryx, granniopteryx. She knows the truth, she's linking every link.
Hello, this is a video of Peter Mandelson being arrested. I'm going to stop it there for a minute. You'll see that there were 3 police officers with him, and you can also see from the flashes that were showing on that tree there. There you see, hang on, I'll play that again. That there are plenty of journalists standing about waiting for the show. Now, you couldn't see all the journalists because they would have been parked in an immense crowd opposite Mr. Mandelson's home, but there would have been dozens of them there behind the cameras. So there would have been quite a few who were just hanging around on the off chance something had happened, something was going to happen. But it wouldn't surprise me if it turned out that the press had been forewarned as well. You may remember there's a famous example here in the UK of the police arresting the elderly pop artist Cliff Richard. And it turned out it was on a completely spurious charge levelled at him by a fantasist. But the thing about that whole business was that the BBC turned up with a helicopter hovering over his house while the arrest was made. And it turned out that the police had told the BBC they were going to make this high-profile arrest. And this, of course, caused a tremendous fuss. Both were taken to court by Cliff Richard, and they were both found guilty of serious misconduct. And they promised never to do that again. Well, I'm not sure that they weren't doing it again here. To get back to Mandelson, similarly, even without the helicopter, this is a very public arrest. It was done in broad daylight. It could have been done more discreetly, very early in the morning or late at night when there wasn't much light around. No, this is a very public thing. And you might wonder why that was necessary. Now, the story that the police put out for arresting him was that they were worried that Mandelson would run away. And the possible destination they gave was the British Virgin Islands. I mean, what sort of fools do they think we are? First of all, how would Mandelson even get out of the country? Everyone in the Western world knows that face. The British Virgin Islands, I mean, the clue is in the name. If he even made it there, they'd send him right back. Well, you know, it's part of the British sphere of influence. What sort of a story is that? This whole performance here was completely unnecessary. And so unnecessary that they released him a few hours later. What good did that do? Well, it was a performance. And honestly, as slimy, devious and treacherous as Mandelson is, and as much of a friend of Tony Blair that he was, and let's face it, any friend of Tony Blair is an enemy not only of me but of the entire British people. No, that wasn't why he was given this sort of well, actually you might call it a public execution. It has to have been because Keir Starmer ordered it. And no, I don't have any private access to 10 Downing Street, but nothing would convince me that the order didn't come from him directly. You see, just recently, the King had said about the arrest of the con artist formerly known as Prince Andrew, that is, that the law must take its course. And I'm quite sure that Starmer wanted to make a show of throwing his pal Mandelson to the wolves in the same way that the royal family have thrown their errant brother and uncle to the wolves. So Starmer had the police make this very public arrest. It's a sign of what this government is. They're always doing performative things. Recently, Starmer's been talking about how much he loves Britain, whereas before he was talking about how much he loves Davos. They were always dressing up in costumes appropriate to the occasion. And they think that this fools us, and they think that this fools us as well. Oh, you notice they're supposed to be driving, it says, an unmarked police car, but it's a very, well, obvious sort of colour, isn't it? It just shows up. If anyone wanted to follow them, they'd have no trouble in identifying that car to follow it. So, yeah, the whole thing is completely performative. Well, I don't know whether it's to be deplored or celebrated that Starmer's just as nasty to his friends as to his enemies, but I suppose that has an element of spite. Mandelson let him down and embarrassed him, so this is a way of not only keeping up with the king, but getting back at Mandelson as well. And that's Starmer. That's the whole government has been, from the Southport incident to today, the whole Labour government seems to have been characterised by spite, by dishonesty and spite. And all you guys still loyal to the Labour Party, are there any? Well, if there are, it might be worth remembering the words of the biblical sage. Seeing as we're in Lent now, we should think of the Bible a bit. He advised anyone, put not your trust in princes, didn't he? And perhaps if he'd have been living now, he would have said prime ministers as well. OK, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.